Hi Leo, it's Jay reading for the sign of Leo. This reading could resonate with anyone who has Leo strongly in their chart, Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus sign. I am doing my freestyle type of reading, my free form reading. I'm going to be mainly using this deck. And so let's go ahead and just get started now. Let's look at the situation that's around you, Leo. Looking at the situation that's around you now. Looking at the situation that's around you. The Chariot flipped over, didn't come out. The energies are coming out quite easily, quite nicely, so I'm just going to go through the deck one time. This might be a very smooth flowing or a very smooth period of time for you because the energies came out so smoothly. I just went through the deck once, so it just has a very smooth kind of a flow. We'll see though, we'll see. See if I can get these all in here. Lots of energies here. I think we have two people here. So this is a reading. I'm going to read this as two people. Now, this could be two aspects of yourself. This reading could be about two aspects of yourself where you start out in a strong, healthy, feminine energy, and then you are transitioning into a more masculine energy. For others of you, this has to do with two people. So I'm going to read this reading as two people. I'm going to read it as the Empress and the King of Wands. All right. Now, the reason why I say it could be one person is that counterpart to the Empress is usually the Emperor energy, which could also be the King of Wands. So if you're in a big time situation just with yourself, you could resonate with this reading, but there will be a little homework involved where you're going to take everything that I say about the King of Wands and place it over the top of you, over the left side of your brain and over the right side of your body, right? And for the feminine, it would be over the right side of your brain, over the left side of the body. That's kind of how I do this kind of reading. But if this is two people, then it'll be easier for you because I'm going to read it as two people. Okay, let's go ahead and let's go ahead and get started. I'm going to go ahead and separate these energies now. Well, we see the feminine, so I'm gonna call this a feminine and the masculine. So however you resonate with this reading, you could be the King of Wands or you could be the Empress. It just depends. Leo, you could definitely be the King of Wands. You could definitely be the Empress. So this is going to be up to you to kind of fit yourself into this reading. It's going to be a fun reading, Leo. So just bear with me here while I get myself into the feminine energy. Into the feminine energy, we have here the feminine energy in a very strong, empowered place. This is a very internal. This is about the feminine in the next week or two being in a very intuitive and strongly connected in, as like the Abraham Hicks people would say, tuned in, turned on. That's how the feminine energy is going to be over the next week or so. We have the High Priestess over the top of the Empress, and for me, the easiest way to describe the High Priestess when she is connected with the Empress is that she is the soul of the Empress. She is the higher self of the Empress, right? She is the internal faith center of the Empress energy. And each one of the queens, Queen of Wands, Queen of Swords, Queen of Cups, and Queen of Pentacles, each one of these queens has a part of the Empress within them. And so when all the queens are in a very healthy place, that's when the Empress really comes out in you. So you could be feeling very balanced right now. You could be feeling very in tune with yourself. You're understanding your higher, the system that you connect into, the system of your faith and of your, the system that you plug into that helps bring you strength and helps bring you guidance, whatever that is for you. You're connecting into a higher energy or a higher power in one way or another. And you're truly connected in at this point, Leo. Like you are understanding what brings this peace to you. You are understanding what helps you find this alignment. And it's not just all yourself. It is something much bigger than yourself. And for some reason now, whether it's whatever you've done now in your life to get you into this very holistically rounded and empowered place in your life, you have found a very peaceful way of moving forward. This is not to say that you haven't come across challenges, because you have. That's how you become the Empress, is by moving through challenges, living through them, learning from them, and becoming learned and empowered from them. That's how you reach the Empress energy. And this could fit into you at any age. Whatever age we are, we're still going through challenges, we're still going through lessons, and we can still be in the Empress energy. So as we get in here into this energy, it is a very soft maternal energy. It's an energy of love and nurturing. It's an energy of self-awareness and self-care. There is something here that has helped you find the guidance that you need. Whatever that is for you, there is guidance here that you have built within yourself, and it does bring it brings you closer. It brings you closer to the power source. It brings you closer to source. It is a relationship that you have now that's very special within yourself. It helps you understand why you're doing the things that you're doing, why you have the focuses that you do, why and how you're inspired by the situations that are going on around you. And you really have this internal peace. It's also a centering of the chakras. So it just seems like your energy has been cleansed as well. You could have been going through an energy cleanse, and we all go through different types of energy cleanses. Sometimes we can clean our energy by just laying on the ground, on our belly or on our back, preferably on our belly, and we can say the things that we need to say or feel the emotions that we are to feel, and kind of feel those, find understanding with those, and release those into Mother Earth. We can find cleanses by having a good bout of crying. We can cleanse our energy through our monthly energy flows. And for some women, our energy cleanses during menstruation. There are many different ways. We can go to energy healers and we can have our energy cleaned that way. There are many ways that we can heal or cleanse our energies. And I just feel like there has been some type of cleanse here for this group of Leo feminines. There is it's a deep reflective energy. So how would your personality be over the next week or so? Well, it's a quieter energy, still intense. So Leo, still very intense, a quieter energy and at peace energy. You could be spending time in meditation. You could be spending time out with Mother Earth in some way. You could have a real connectiveness with the animals around you. You could almost feel like you could hear the trees talking to you, or the plants talking to you, or even the rocks connecting with you in a special way. So you're very connected in with the energies that are around you. Now, you're in a quieter energy, so you could be feeling the need to just go into your sanctuary, read, or find your fulfillment in very quiet ways. Whatever you're going through, it looks like you are moving forward with something. You could be planning to move. You could be planning some something strategic in your life where you're coming up with some kind of strategic plan that has to do with step 1, step 2, and step 3, or the phases of this. So whatever you're doing, you are coming up with some sort of plan. It's a plan that helps you feel at peace with something, where before you might have felt off center, you might have been working on something, you might have felt anxious, you might have felt really stressed out about this, but somehow you were able to really kind of ground yourself, find clarity in the situation, come up with some sort of plan, some ideas, some framework that help you move forward with a more peaceful mentality or with a more peaceful mindset. And that mindset is peaceful because of the system of the plans that you have put in place so that you can feel some sort of security and foundation within those plans. So you are moving forward in something, whether it's moving, whether it's starting a new project, whether it's finding a solution for something and moving forward, you are moving forward and you're moving forward into a much more peaceful journey now. You're not anyone to play around with at this time. I don't mean that you're not going to be playful, because you certainly, the Empress energy mixed with the High Priestess could certainly be very playful energy, very playful energy. The Empress and the High Priestess has a very interesting sense of humor, and she can really have some. It's a dry. It's kind of a little bit of a dry sense of humor. It's a little bit of a teasing sense of humor. It's teasing, but very affectionate, with the Mother and the High Priestess. It's a very intuitive kind of teasing too, or it doesn't even have to be a tease, because sometimes teasing is not even all that fun for people. But it's like you're able to really tell what someone's soft spots are, or their weak spots, or something that people are thinking around you. And you could just say something little and they'd be like, ha, how did you know I was thinking about that? And it could just be kind of a little bit of a light exchange, but underneath that light exchange could be something really helpful that comes across in that. The High Priestess is a very secretive energy, so whatever you're going through, you could be really not talking about it to a whole lot of people. It could be something that you really had to figure out by yourself, Leo, because we do see you in this very silent, secluded, serenity kind of energy, and then coming up with some sort of a plan and moving forward with it. So it might have been something here, or it might be something that only really you can solve. And in getting in this High Priestess energy and being in this very nurturing, accepting, tolerant, abundant, non-bothered energy, you're able to really find the answers for yourself. So beautiful. The feminine is in a very empowered place right now, but not in a place of like out in your face. This is not an in your face kind of power energy. It's a more quieter, a softer, but an energy that you really can't stop. It's something that has I really don't know. When you have the Empress energy next to the High Priestess energy, this is a force. It's a force that is a motherly. Let's think about the Empress energy. If you have a mother with her child, in a typical situation with a healthy mother, there's not much you can do to keep that mother from caring for her child. In fact, there might not be anything you can do. So this mother energy, this Empress energy is all powerful. She might not be in your face. She might not have like traditional weapons that she uses, but she is all powerful. And mix her with the High Priestess. This is someone who has a deep knowledge. This is someone that you don't want to mess with, right? So when you have this kind of intense, beautiful, compassionate energy, I do feel like the environment around you is just going to kind of stand back. It's going to stand back because you have this radiant energy about you that's going to just kind of, the universe is a little bit standing back and creating a lane for you to walk down, a path for you to walk down. That's what it feels like. Moving over to the masculine energy, you have a King of Wands here. Now, the King of Wands is a very outgoing energy. He's not always outgoing. Sometimes he really needs his quiet. I have a brother who's in Aries. In fact, I have a few Aries around me. And something really common about them is when they're out with people, when they're out doing their work, they can move mountains. I mean, they have such a beautiful quality about them where they're just in the flow of it. They're in the flow of it, and they merge with people, and they're able to communicate with people. They have great ideas. They're very powerful. They don't let people push them around. They're able to stand on their own. They're able to get things done. The King of Wands, from my perspective with the King of Wands, when it's time to rest or when this activity is over, the King of Wands energy can really go into shutdown mode. I don't mean shutting down emotionally or anything like that. It's just that they run out of energy. So one of my brothers, I have 5, so there's a lot of brothers in my family. I've been around a lot of men in my life, and I really like men. I have a brother who, if he's out in public, if he's out doing his work, if he's doing his thing, he has this personality that's very dynamic, and he can pretty much solve anything. He's one of these guys that raised on a farm, grew up with equipment, grew up with learning how to do all kinds of things that taught him basic trades. And when he goes out and does his work, he can pretty much finish anything. And he can also help people feel good who are around him. And he really has this fun personality. But when he comes home, what does he do? He crashes on his bed for a good hour, hour and a half. And you don't really hear from him. Right? And then after a while, here he comes out again and he's better. So the King of Wands has this go, 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 go energy, and then a real refueling energy. He has to go in and get refueled. And I just know people that do that, and it just reminds me of the King of Wands. So you could have someone around you like that. The King of Wands is a presenter, a creator, somebody who can really step through fear, step through obstacles, look at situations differently, look at situations out of the box, come up with these weird solutions and these off-the-wall ideas that actually work sometimes, right? If they don't work, they get him into a place where he can figure out how to make it work. So the King of Wands is able to really look outside the box. Just like the way electricity can flow, just the way lightning can come down, or the electrical currents that come down from the stormy clouds and hit the ground, and you could have lightning going in every which way. That's how the King of Wands can be when there's something to be figured out. He can really kind of spread his energy all around. There's something going on with the King of Wands. There's something that's a mystery or that's unknown to the King of Wands. He could be feeling quite... Oh, there's a King of Cups here too. Man, see, this is what happens when that's okay. It's at the end of the reading. I'll get there. I have to let it flow. I didn't notice this King. This is what happens to me sometimes. Those of you that follow me, you know that I start at 1 and I slowly and methodically go from 1 to 1. Sometimes when I do readings, there are surprises in the readings for me because I get deep into the energy of one card, and it's really hard sometimes to get into the energy of 2 at once. So here's a King of Cups. So we'll just have to wait and see what this King of Cups is. But there's something here that is an unknown for the King of Wands. We'll go into the Moon. I'm going to move this up or move this down because I want to remember to go into this energy. There's something here that is an unknown for the King of Wands. Now, what does the King of Wands do when he has a mystery? What does he do? What does he do when there's something that's going on that he can't really put his fingers on? There's something happening here with the King of Wands that is making him kind of emotional. He could be a little bit emotionally unstable, or just in an irritable mood. There's something here that's an unknown for the King of Wands. And when the King of Wands has an unknown, it breaks it. It's like he's moving ahead. He has a plan. He's moving ahead. There's a path that he's on. He is on his way. And then it's like there's something here that's a little bit off with that. And it's something emotional. It's something that's putting him unsteady on his feet just a little bit. Something's here that's pinging him, poking him with a needle. It's like something's here. I don't know if it's his intuition. I don't know if there's something going on in his life or something going on with you. Because this is somewhat of a watery energy over here. Something going on with you or something, but there's something here that's creating mood or irritability with the King of Wands. Could be something that he has on his conscience, he has on his mind, something that he wants to talk about or something that's bothering him, and it's creating an instability within himself. I just heard the words do it. Okay. So now I'm just going to claim this. I'm just going to do it. I'm going to go into this energy. This person could be part of the King of Wands. So this is kind of up to you now, Leo, to figure this out. There is another person here. There could be another person or another aspect of the King of Wands. The King of Cups is an energy. It's another masculine energy. Now, this is an energy of, boy, there's a lot of people here. This is an energy, a masculine energy of somebody who is out in his or her environment, out in the space around them, in the real world, doing things, taking action, solving situations that bring health and well-being and healing and revitalization to a space, to the people or the planet around him. He prefers to take action. He prefers to do things instead of saying things. So sometimes the King of Cups will hold back his emotional words, but in his actions, you can kind of tell that how he feels. So he'll speak to you oftentimes with the things he does for you. So if the King of Cups is not doing anything, is not pulling his weight, is refusing to take action, the King of Cups, sometimes there's a little bit of there could be something that the King of Cups is going through or something that has destabilized him. We don't see that in this picture with the King of Cups. We have a King of Cups here, Cancer, Pisces, Scorpio. And I feel like there's something here that's really, this King of Wands could be communicating with the King of Cups, or the Empress could be communicating with the King of Cups. It could be that the King of Wands is needing to create healing in his own space. It could be that the King of Wands, this King of Wands energy, is needing healing in his own space. So this could be one person. So there's just two energies here. The King of Wands could be taking this on, because what's interesting here is the Empress energy, which is the counterpart to the King of Wands, possibly, is also in this watery energy of the High Priestess. And this King of Wands, it could also be in the watery energy of the King of Cups. These could be very much counterpart energies. Okay, so stay with me here as I figure this out, as I figure these. Sometimes the readings, I mean, this is hard work, right? Doing these kind of readings is hard work. So please be patient with me. I'm not a robot. I'm not a computer. It's like, okay, look, I'm in his energy. Did you feel that, how I got in that energy? And I have now tension at my back and I'm off kilter. I'm off kilter. There's something here that this King of Wands is off kilter about. But there are improvements here. There are improvements with the King of Cups energy. I think whatever this situation is that's around the King of Wands is beginning to improve. I think that he is beginning to feel much more valued, or much more able to really get back to his real self, because the King of Wands can be quite emotional, especially depending on what's in his natal chart and what's in his personality and how he is. So we know with the King of Wands that oftentimes the King of Wands is driven by his emotion, right? And if his emotion is destabilized, or if something has come in and has really hurt his yin energy so that he doesn't know why he's doing something, he doesn't know why he believes what he believes, his foundation could have been rocked. He could be in a situation where he has been knocked off of his foundational belief system, or something has happened to him that has injured his yin energy. We have you really strong in the yin energy, and we have him having some sort of a wobbliness in his yin, which is about belief systems, which is about caring for oneself, getting rest, getting good sleep, eating the right foods for yin energy. It's taking care of the feminine. So this person here, the King of Wands, could be really focused now on getting rest, finding enjoyment of life, redetermining what his whys are, What are the reasons for the actions that he's taking? And we'll go into the moon energy in just a few minutes and see if we can figure out what that is. But it does look like there are messages coming in that help. There are indications that are coming in that help him really find revitalization in that energy. And I think that once that yin energy really can heal and become more empowered within the King of Wands, you're going to start to see him taking action again and doing the things that he usually does to help him feel inspired and help him feel good about himself. So we do have a King of Wands that's kind of rebuilding himself at this point. He might be in a slow space right now. He might be in a refueling space where for the last week or two, he might have just not felt quite right, or he might not have been able to flow that energy, that creator energy through him like he normally does. But I do see that there is indications here over the next week or so that he's going to start getting this stability back and start being able to really find that understanding within himself again, and start to refuel up that passion center. That see how the lion is kind of standing back. It's like he's going to connect again with that lion. That lion is going to come closer and going to be a part of his abdomen area. Right in this center, this lion is going to you'll see this head kind of coming out of the abdomen once this King of Wands is back up and refueled again. So let's go ahead and go into the moon energy and see what we can find here in the moon energy. Please help us with this moon energy. Yeah, it's a destabilization. So it looks like there's a decision. It looks like there's a decision here that he's faced with, something that he's trying to figure out. He's focused on stability. He's focused on creating a shelter around his work or around his relationship, or around something that he's doing in his life. He feels a little bit, something has come in and affected his stability. This could be something where he's feeling like life is not quite fair. Maybe he's overworked. Maybe he is feeling like there's something out of balance in his life. Maybe he's doing something that doesn't fulfill him, or he's depleted his energy, or he's overworking himself, or he's not spending time to refuel. Maybe he's maybe under a lot of pressure and continually is having to spend his energy, and he's not able to really refuel. So he's on an empty gas tank or a fuel tank. His fuel tank could be empty. There is something here with the Six of Pentacles and the Four of Wands and the Two of Wands connected with this moon energy. So, and I feel like this is a destabilization of his emotional yin, or it's a depletion of his yin energy. But I do see that this is rebuilding and he's coming back into a more masculine energy. And it has to do with him wanting to do something different, or wanting more equality, or wanting to, with the Six of Pentacles, could be kind of a generous energy as well with the Six of Pentacles. But this does have to do with the Four of Wands as well. Stability, creating this could be with an engagement or a marriage. It could be with a new contract that he signed with perhaps a new client or a new prospect, or some sort of new employment agreement that's coming in. Whatever it is, it helps him take action in his life and feel confident of his security while he does that. So if this is a relationship that is on his mind, he could be really focused on creating exclusivity, or he could be, wanting to really have you to himself in one way or another. Or if this is a work situation, there needs to be, he's really focused on building some sort of a structure around this so that he can feel secure in the long run, not just for today, but what's going to happen tomorrow and what's going to happen a month from now. So he's really trying to create this equality, so that what he gives out he's receiving something back, whether it's money, whether it's inspiration, whether it is something that just fulfills him in some other way. And there is something here that he's really thinking about for the future, something different that he'd like to do with maybe his work, because the Wand's energy is usually something that you take action in during the day, or you spend your time really working on. So it's a working energy. It's an action energy. It's something that we spend our fuel on, right? We spend our action fuel on. In the extended, we can go deeper into the Two of Wands and lay out some scenarios and maybe help you kind of move through these different energies that are surrounding the King of Wands. There's probably some different life paths here, or something there is something that's being offered, or something that's being connected in with that is different, that the King of Wands is considering. So we'll look deeper into those energies, and I usually lay out 2 scenarios and I go really deep in them and see what kind of energies we can come out with. So we're going to focus definitely on the Two of Wands here. We're going to focus in on the Empress and the High Priestess in the extended and see what they have to say. See what the Empress has to say, see what the High Priestess has to say. We're also going to look to see how this King of Wands feels about you, and what he intends to do. So we're going to dig into the intentions, the feelings and the intentions of these 2 individuals. And I'm going to stay away from the King of Cups, because I think we've gotten all we can out of the King of Cups. So if this is a second person, let me feel the energies. If this is a third person, then this was just sort of like a person on the side, an acquaintance or something. But I feel like for most of you, this King of Cups is an aspect of the King of Wands that's recovering in like a recovering energy. So that's the extended reading. I am going to move over to that reading now. And I hope this has been good for you. Leo, I hope it's helped you. I am talking about an Aries energy now, Leo. So, it's interesting. What I just heard was you're taking on, and I've said Aries. So there's going to be people in the comments that are going to say, you said Aries. I know this is a Leo reading. But I feel like in this reading, this King of Wands it's taking on a more Aries type feeling, because I have this Emperor or this Empress, and I have this more of an Emperor type, like the Emperor type energy has been going through something that has destabilized him, and he's moving more into the King of Wands energy, which is your energy, which is the Leo energy. So Leo, for many of you, you guys are the Empress energy, and we have a masculine here, or a male person here, who is moving between like an Aries energy and a Leo energy. And I'm not going to change it. I'm not doing this reading over. Like that, those signs that come out sometimes through my mouth are to be just taken as part of the reading. I think sometimes people hear one sign that comes out, and sometimes there are people that are meant to hear that. So we can't just literally, what energy am I in right now? Am I in a teaching energy? Maybe. We can't sometimes take this general reading so literal. They are general readings, and they mean different things for different people. So I know that I've been thinking sometimes this Aries energy, and there is an Aries energy here, right? There is an Aries energy here with the King of Wands. Even though this is a Leo reading, I'm talking about energy that is somewhat like an Aries, or somewhat like an Emperor energy. So I don't know what I'm going to do about that, because I know I'm going to have people that are going to write comments about that. And I hope that you all make it to the end where I explain this, because it was just brought to my attention, that it is somewhat of an Aries energy. And I know that you're Leo. So, all right. That said, I am moving to the extended now, and we'll see what comes out in the extended. Thank you all very much. It's always a pleasure, Leo, to get in your energy, and I will see you back out on YouTube in another week or so with another update for Leo. All right. Thank you very much.